Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, we're taking a glimpse at OpenAI's documentation. So in the previous video, we've successfully set up our development environment to code to proceed with the next steps to create with advanced applications with OpenAI's API to create something beautiful out of it. So as you can see on my screen here, just a quick start. There are tons of great information to start and create something with ChatGPT's API. We'll be also using this documentation here actively and frequently. So it's pretty similar what we done in the previous video, as you can see here. So this was just a quick start, and this feels like a hidden gem in the unfathomable sea. It's not a hidden gem, it's public, but it's a gem, that's for sure. Yeah, all right. So meet the models. So we're using the latest model in our course, which is GPT-4o. And we also can use GPT-4o mini. This is more affordable. And here you can see, as it says here, our affordable and intelligence model, a model for fast, lightweight tasks. And this is really cheap. Like, I've been using this like for over a month, and it cost me around like $5, $5. It's not a thing. But the previous models was just really expensive, kind of like a ripoff. But these models is like in general, GPT-4 and GPT-4 mini is cheaper. So they're not as expensive as they used to be. All right, let's just continue. So we're just taking a glimpse to get ourselves familiar with the documentation, because the documentation is the bottom line. Documentation's everything. You can just solve anything by just looking at documentation for 5 minutes instead of like trying and just busting your ass to solve something. It takes up to 1 hour if you don't look at documentation a proper way. There's a great meme about it. Let me just show you guys. There it is, as you can see. 6 hours of debugging can save you 5 minutes of reading documentation. It is really true. Like, it is beautiful. It's just nothing but the facts. Facts. All right, let's just continue with our next concepts. Here, as you can see, you can also find a quick start from OpenAI's itself. Actually, we're doing almost the same things when it comes to basic steps. We just actually did the same thing here. We imported OpenAI and we created our client. It is actually in JavaScript. We're using Python in our course. And we also have some concepts, text generation models, assistants, embeddings, tokens, and we have some models. These are the available models here. GPT-4o mini, as I said in the previous video, O1 preview is alpha, and they're not open for everyone. You need to be at least tier 5 to use them. Tier 5 means basically if you spend over like 1,000 or what kind of like there's a certain amount of money you need to cross the limit to be able to use this O1 preview. It's not a big deal. It's just alpha. They're gonna like obviously I think they're gonna probably they're gonna publish it for public. They're really open. All right, GPT-4 Turbo and GPT 3.5, which is one of the old models, and we have the beautiful model that can generate and edit images given a natural language prompt, which is amazing. We can also be using this, but not in this course. I can create a free course to use the DALL-E, TTS Whisper, and so on. So let's just continue with the GPT-4o. O stands for Omni, here as you can see. This is the most advanced model here. As you can see here, GPT-4 has a big advantage when we compare it to former models or the older models. It's multimodal, which means accepting text or image inputs and outputting text. So you can actually give some images to GPT-4o to get some interpretation or commentary about the images. For example, if you have a image and you need to analyze this image to find some keywords about the product. Let's just say you have a product image from Amazon and you need to find some keywords related to this product. So you can easily use GPT-4o to find some keywords that are related to product based on the picture. For example, if your picture is a great laptop with the fancy keyboard and RGB lights and whatsoever, the GPT-4o will be responding with a with a keywords like a fancy keyboard laptop, RGB lights, keyboards, nice screen, big screen, whatever goes on. All right, we have GPT-4o Mini, which is one of the cheapest models from the OpenAI. As you can see, we recommend choosing GPT-4o Mini, where you will have previously used GPT-4 3.0 Turbo, as the model is more capable and cheaper. That is one of that kind of feels like gifts for developers out there from OpenAI to use GPT-4o Mini actively in their applications, because it is really cheap. Like it cost me $5 and I've been using this every day, all day. I can say that. O1 preview. O1 is just a kind of like trained model with the reinforcement learning, which makes it able to think about the answers. Actually, I don't know how it works actually. Like step by step, we need to deep dive into this to understand what's happening in the background. But they're not sharing all information about the models publicly, because since it's not a OpenAI anymore, it's closed AI. It's more like closed AI. But anyway, let's continue with the GPT-4 Turbo multi-model model. It's also where you can also put some images and stuff, and it goes on. And you have also some Whisper, which is a speech recognition model, where you can input some audio, and it can return you some text output. So let's just continue with the libraries. So this section is for, I think, the programming languages. Here, as you can see, you can use OpenAI with Python with these codes, which is the same thing that we've done in the previous video. And here, as you can see, C++, and they're actually trying to make it available for almost every programming language out there in the marketplace. And let's just continue with the capabilities, which is I think the crucial part of this entire documentation. So text generation models. So we'll be using text generation models in our applications, because as you can see, these are the capabilities. You can build applications to draft documents, write computer code, answer questions about a knowledge base, analyze texts, give software natural language interface, tutor in a range of subjects, translate languages, simulate characters for games. Like from this paragraph, you can create tons of SaaS applications. And that actually what happened when the ChatGPT released for the first time. Like everyone is just creating some wrapper SaaS applications. What I mean by wrapper is you're just using ChatGPT's API to create something with web-related programming languages to also decorate it with a nice user interface, and the entire logic behind the program is just so basic, so fundamental. You're just using OpenAI's API to make something happen, and you're also creating some UI, user interface, for your customers, and you're sharing in a marketplace with some marketing, and boom, you can make shit lot of money. Sorry for the language, but that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening when the first ChatGPT released for the first time. But right now it's kind of like competitive, because I've been also creating some SaaS applications with ChatGPT's API. But when it comes to when it comes to user interface, I don't know anything about web-related programming languages, JavaScript, Tailwind, HTML, CSS, whatever. I just code in Python and C and C++. And whenever I have an idea that needs to be ignited, because I need the kind of like spark to ignite this kind of ideas to make it happen in the real life. But I'm creating everything in Python. But when it comes to marketing or just user interface, which is one of the the most challenging parts for me to create something with ChatGPT API, I'm just getting stuck. Why? I can't hire anyone right now at this time because I'm actually busy with my college and with my job. However, you can also create some code that performs some web-related tasks. For example, you need to create a user interface. You can use ChatGPT's API or basically ChatGPT to create a user interface in JavaScript. However, when you run this and when you publish this application that you created with ChatGPT, at least you created the user interface with ChatGPT, and you're ready to go. And you publish it in the marketplace and it's live. Whenever something unusual happens in your app, you won't be able to fix it instantly. Why? Because you don't know what's happening in the background. And I think that is a problem right now. Nowadays, everybody is just claiming to be a developer without knowing what's happening in the background. I was on Meetup. Right, let me just tell you guys a story. So when I was on Meetup, like the other day, like a few days ago, I was in Meetup, um, some international students around the world. So there was one guy, he was claiming about to be a developer without knowing any programming language. And I asked him, "What do you do, bro? Like, what's your programming? What do you use when you're programming?" And he responded to me like, "I'm just using whatever ChatGPT gives me." And that's the point. That's the pinnacle point of my life. That's one of my pinnacle points of my life to like to see how far they can go in terms of stupidity. Because you don't know anything what's happening in the background. You can't be a developer without knowing any programming language by just relying on ChatGPT responses on something basic tasks, on some basic tasks like user interface or something like that. Okay. Let's just get back to the topic, which is quick start. We already done that. Prompt engineering. Oh, let me just talk about prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is, we have some different types of prompt engineering. If you are using some RAG applications, RAG stands for retrieval augmented reality. No, generation, sorry for that. There you go. Retrieval augmented generation. Uh, whereas where you can also use some databases, vector databases, to keep some related context in your prompt, in your input, to reduce the hallucination of the models. For example, if you have a let's just say, if you have a PDF which has over like 100 pages, you can't be inputting, you can't fit it in the one input context, right? Because it's 100 pages, it's almost like, I don't know, X amount of characters, which is not able to fit in this little small input context. So you will be using a vector database, what is a vector database? You're just creating some interpretations of words and sentences with mathematical, let's just say equivalents, mathematical equivalents. For example, a word umbrella can be 5, 4, 3, 1, 2, and the whole set of these numbers represents the word of umbrella. Because what we all do, what's happening in the background, there's all mathematical formulas, mathematical algorithms, formulas are just happening in the background. It's nothing but the math. AI is nothing but the math. You're just doing something. If you're doing something with AI, you're just playing with mathematics in the background. If you're aware of the programming languages and some algorithms, etc. Okay, prompt engineering. This one of the this one is one of the prompt engineering, which is using RAGs, retrieval augmented generation, here as you can see. And we also have some in-prompt engineering. Also, it actually, we can consider to be also in-prompt engineering because we are giving some related context in the input window. For example, I'll be asking something about the PDF, and my vector database is go over every pages of my book and find the related context to my input and just collect these parts and just put it in my input context to reduce the hallucinations from my ChatGPT's model, ChatGPT's or API. Okay. So these are some models. These are some kind of like frequently asked questions and region. We have region. Oh, I talked about it, where you can also input some images. Here, as you can see, you're just giving the image URL and it can return you a text output. And we have also some function calling, which is one of the best features of this ChatGPT's API in this documentation. We're also going through it. Oh, let's just go. All right. You have a model and you have some specific tasks, and you need to do it instantly without any hallucination. So you're just creating functions to do that. How it works. So for example, here is JSON format. You're just giving some name, description, and type, and some parameters, properties. As you can see, type string, description, the customer's order ID. So whenever someone inputs something that can be related to delivery date, for example, they can ask, where's my order? When my order is coming? Okay, then ChatGPT's API, it's gonna run in the background this function to find the customer's order ID, and you will also able to do some actions in this function. For example, if you let me just show you guys a piece of context about it. I think okay. So here's you can see. So name, get, delivery date, right? So whenever that function calls, like getting called, and we can use this. For example, we can write some code underneath these lines to perform some actions. For example, we can connect to our database to get the order ID, and just as a response, we can just print it. Okay. This is also one of the best features of the ChatGPT's OpenAI. And let's just continue with the chat completions. Struct outputs, we will not using these ones. But I think I'm planning to create a free course where we're explaining all of these with the basic code samples. Okay, so let's just continue with the chat completions, which is the part where we'll be using the most frequently in this course. Yeah. So these are just basically the chat completions create. We will be using this endpoint in the next videos to create something advanced. We will be integrating. We're not like simply using this part of this code snippet. We will be integrating in an app that has like big other parts. Okay. And this basically gives you output text once you input a text input. And we also have some fine-tuning options. We're not committing any fine-tuning, but we will be in the next courses, but not in this one. Okay, we also have some image generation, text to speech, speech to text. We will not look into these in detail because these topics are not related to our topic and not to our course. Maybe in the next courses we will be also looking into them in detail. All right. We also have some prompt examples, as you can see. You will be provided with statements. This is actually very good. If you're struggling to find some brain prompts, you can look into these, because as you can see, extract keywords from a block of text. As you can see, you can, for example, you have a big chunk of text where you need to extract some keywords. Let's just say you have a product description and you have to extract some keywords. You can get help from this prompts. Yeah, obviously you're going to modify it to make it compatible or make it for your case. All right, that was it for this video, and we'll be continuing. We will starting with our next AI app, which is Amazon AI Voice Assistant. I'm so excited. If you're also so excited, let's just jump right into it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.